Welcome, welcome. The purest teacher is the silence. Silence has no concepts. There is no individual that can be found in the feeling of silence. There is no mind, no stories. Also, there is neither past nor future. There is no opposing force to silence. There are no levels of depth in getting something in silence. Yet out of the feeling of silence arises true wisdom. When speaking is arising out of silence, it is an extension of the silence itself. And then no matter how the perceptive senses may see it, the truth is there's no one speaking. There is the one unending field of silence out of which expression arises. The feeling of silence is the feeling of absolute peace. It is the feeling where there is no one, and thus the true nature of the self is revealed. The feeling of silence always is. It is not in conflict with noise. It has nothing to do with noise. Just as true stillness has nothing to do with movement. One is a superimposition generated by the conditioned mind in the arena of phenomena, that which is experienced by conditioned mind. Silence is not something that is experienced by conditioned mind. In silence, there is no conditioned mind, because conditioned mind is just an imaginary overlay that seems real because it calls experience reality. But reality is what cannot be experienced by mind, what the mind calls nothing. The feeling of what the mind calls nothing is the feeling of silence. It is the feeling of oneness. It's the feeling of love and peace. It's the eternal feeling of the heart. It is in no relationship with changing phenomena. It is in no relationship with time, because it's always here now. It's in no relationship with location, for silence is obviously locationless. When silence is felt, it is felt with the heart. When silence is felt with the heart, it is the feeling of love. When love is felt, it is love feeling love. And the byproduct of this is joy. Thus there is joy, alive in silence. As far as the mechanics of creation, out of silence arises an intuition, movement that occurs without mind, in perfect harmony, and without disrupting silence. Silence is the ultimate master, and it will always remain. When you feel the silence, you are the silence. When you are the silence, you are immersed in the true wisdom and the true master. Just to feel silence. The more you feel it, the more alive it becomes. The more alive it becomes, the more alive you become. The more alive you become, the more you become an offering, spreading the wisdom of silence over the chaos of mind. The chaos of mind cannot disturb silence, but silence is the remedy for the chaos of mind, because within it is everything the chaotic mind is searching for. Yet the chaotic mind is terrified of silence because it realizes that in feeling silence, attention on the mind ceases. And to the mind, this is the unknown. And the mind is terrified of the unknown. And there is the dance. There is the dance. The silence is the answer to all of the miseries of mind. And on some level, for all of us, mind recognizes this. But yet at the same time, mind is terrified of silence. Because in order to taste silence, relationship with mind is put down. And this is what the mind calls the unknown. So there is this push-pull within the mind, while all along the feeling of silence remains the same, undisturbed, undisturbed. The depths of peace that is undisturbed. Felt with the heart, the depths of love that is undisturbed. Falling into the love, the depths of joy that is undisturbed. Eventually, in the opening and closing process, in the wearing away process, the mind eventually gives way, prostrates itself to the beauty. And it is at this point that the individual, once and for all, the misery that arises from feeling separate, once and for all, vanishes into from where it appeared from, which is the silence of being, which is the love that is your true self, which is the eternal relationship with reality that is always here and it's always now, and it is felt everywhere equally. Thoughts may come and go, sensations may come and go, but it is like clouds moving in the sky. The clouds do not interrupt the sky. It is just the appearance of movement that is contained within the vastness of the unmoving sky. Wind does not make the sky move. The sky is the container in which wind appears within. The sky is like the silence that is your nature, that can be felt right now, that is felt everywhere and is unbounded, that is felt infinitely. The feeling of silence is infinite, for there is nowhere silence is not. The more deeply you fall into it, the more you feel the infinite nature of it. Silence is eternal. It is always here. The feeling of silence cannot leave. It is always here. When you fall deeply enough into it, you feel the nature of eternity. Mind, body cannot feel the nature of eternity, but it is your nature, for you are immersed in the silence, in the peace and the beauty, in the wisdom that is always available. Just to immerse yourself in the locationless feeling of silence.